Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chinasa. My name is Chinasa Imo, the founder of SieDi-Hub. And like I said, today we are just going to play by the air and have a social media hangout with the tech lead and the lead trainer for the upcoming data analytics training for young people. So, City Hub is going to work with Demandis Tech to use the knowledge that these young people would acquire over the course of the training to try to solve some social issues within the community. And we wanted to just talk with you a little bit of how that program will go. So without wasting much of your time, I know you want to see and hear so much about this training, what it covers, and what the young people are going to gain out of it. So I'm going to be bringing in Mr. Dennis Akagha, who is like I said, the training lead for this training to talk a little bit about the training and every other thing else and how he created this idea, what motivated him to set up this kind of training for young people and what he has been doing with his life. So welcome, Dennis. How are you? It's morning where I am, so but how are you this afternoon?
Thank you very much. I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there. It's 7 a.m. In
Yeah.
Chicago time, and we've moved to autumn, so it's starting to get early late. Unlike before, by 4 o'clock we're already awake. Okay, so you have the floor. Talk to us.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. First and foremost, my name is Dennis, and I'm the tech lead and the lead trainer for the forthcoming data analytics training that will be actually commencing on Saturday. So, how the idea came up was, I think I've actually been doing this training for some time now. For the past 2 years, I've been doing this training. And I think it's also one thing I love doing. I like giving back to society, and I also like impacting the lives of people, especially young ones. So I felt this is also the need and the time because of the actually the growing the need for tech experts, the need for people who are actually, because if you look at what is happening currently, there's a whole lot of things going on when it comes to technology. So people are actually upscaling, people are actually getting knowledge, people are trying to upgrade their skills from where they are. People are actually aside that, people are actually they are transiting from not being in tech to the tech career or profession. So because of this high increase of the need for this tech knowledge or tech skill, I felt okay. I think there's also necessary for us to catch these young ones and also impact them and train them. So that's why I came up with this training. And yeah, so I strongly believe it's going to be very, very impactful. Because actually, because at the end of the day, I've not done this before, and this is just going to be a pet project and something we're going to use to test the waters because we want to see how it's going to go. So maybe after this one, they'll roll out another one or another badge. We want a situation whereby after the training, then our trainee will have an opportunity to embark on a 3 month data analysis training because over time it's not about getting this training, it's not about acquiring this knowledge. It's about getting your hands dirty because everything that has to do with data has to do with how you need to get your hands dirty. You need to practice what you've learned throughout the whole training. So that's why we felt the need to for our trainee to actually embark on 3 months internship, and I strongly believe that's going to be very, very impactful.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for this explanation. I believe that we know that evidence leads better decisions. So, um, making sure that young people begin to not just know how to do tech, but how to use those tools to analyze issues, analyze problems, and offer solutions. I wanted to ask you, besides, okay, so let's go back to the first question before we now even come to what motivated you. So, how did you come into the tech space?
Okay, I've been in the tech space for the past 3 years, and um, before coming into the tech space, I've been in the NGO space. In fact, let's say I've been in the NGO space for the past 4 or 5 years after my experience. So I think because at the point when I came back from Kenya, I needed to set up a project where now that project has to do with um, building a building a website or a web application where people who are actually living with HIV and AIDS can date themselves. So it's more like a dating application. So that experience, because it's actually part of my project for my program when I traveled to Kenya. So because there was actually nobody, because all the tech guys I was actually you know contacting, they were requesting for money, they were asking for a whole lot of money, and I just woke up one morning. I said, "But then, don't you think you can actually be in tech? You can actually transit into tech and do well for yourself." And that was how the idea came up. And I said, "Oh, I think yes." So I took up the decision of getting into tech, and yeah, so it's been three years plus, and that's actually one of the reasons and one of the motivating factor why I got into tech. So yeah, for the past 3 years, I've been in tech. I'm currently a full stack developer and also a data analyst. So I train people who wants to have data analytics skill. I train people who want to learn Python programming language. So so that's it's been challenging, but of course, so this one thing for those who are actually in tech will understand that being in tech it's not a child's play. So it's something you need to learn. It's something you need to. It has to do with consistency, and yes, so that's actually how I got into tech.
So, you omitted a most important part of this narrative after your problem that you experienced. I've known you for a long time, Dennis, and I know that I want to hear that because sometimes, yes, there is something that triggers something, and then you pursue a line of course. It's not everyone that went into tech. It's not everyone that wanted to find solution on how to use technology to solve problems that ended up like you. And it's not everyone that went into tech that is looking at it from the social impact aspect. So I
Mhm.
want to hear that little story after your problem. Can you just maybe take 1 or 2 minutes to talk to us about that? We want to hear it.
Uh, okay, thank you very much for that. I didn't expect this anyway, but
No.
let me because it's okay. For those who know about the Ebola story in Nigeria, I happens to be one of those who survived Ebola in Nigeria, and in 2014. Yes, 2014, where I lost my fiancée. So that experience was actually a motivating factor. Was actually one of the reasons why I got into the NGO space, because everything about me ever since then had been giving back to the society, giving back to the community. And with that singular experience, I traveled to India to see how I could actually acquire skills on how to build an organization or NGO per se. So after spending almost 1 year in India, I came back to Nigeria, and yeah, we set up an organization. So I've been in the NGO space for over 4 or 5 years, and so that's my experience. It's actually something I don't usually talk about because one, it's been a long time, and two, it reminds me of the past. But of course, that's my personal experience. I'm a survivor of Ebola, and yes, I lost a very dear one, and yes, so that's how. So all this, my tech, NGO, everything, was just like my personal experience was actually a motivating factor for everything I've actually been doing. from then to now. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing this emotional time with us. I remember how that felt, with Ebola response in Nigeria, everyone trying to run helter skelter. The ETU was a mess. The emergency center was also a mess because no one knew what we were fighting against. But
So
look at you, you survived Ebola. That is that's astounding. It's not everyone that went in there that came out. So, guys, you've seen that, there is a story behind why we want to use tech to solve problem. So, the other question that I wanted to ask you, I mean, is a Hangout, guys. We are streaming live on SieDi-Hub Facebook page, Demandy's Facebook page, and to SieDi-Hub YouTube channels as well. All those places you can definitely join. Is the same. You still have the same feel and outlook. You can interact with us. Like this conversation, add comments, and then we would have Dennis answer your questions or your concerns or just your general inquiry about how the training would be delivered, and if you are looking to join, how you would what you would gain out of it. So, Mr. Dennis, I wanted to ask you, why young people? Because I see that this training, you've been running like a pilot for a long time, small before this one. Why did you choose to target young people, and why did you design the delivery in a way that they will not just learn, but you want them to transition that learning as part of the training design to pick a social issue and solve it?
Yeah, if you look at what is happening currently in Nigeria, I think the youth is it's the focus of what is happening in politics. The youth are the ones driving the current situation we are actually in now. The youth are the ones driving it. So even at that, I feel if you catch them young, where I'm currently, the rate of this scam, the rate of fraud among the youth is actually on the high side. So I think, and I just woke up one morning. I felt I think there's a need for us to catch these guys when they're still young, possibly those who are still in secondary school, those who are in the university, and even if you're a graduate and you're working, as long as you're a youth, it's actually an opportunity for you to gain an extra skill and also take it up from where you are to whatever you want to. And again, there's also a whole lot of opportunities online for people who are data analysts, and especially the youth. If you go to Upwork, if you go to Fiverr, there's a need for people who are doing data analytics. And if you want to scrape the website, if you want to get data for people, so there's actually a whole lot of need, and I feel it's a gap where the youth can actually fill. So these are actually things that actually propel me to say, okay, I think the training is basically for youth, but that doesn't mean if you are actually above 40 or 50, you can actually partake. But of course, all what we need is the seriousness and to show that, okay, at the end of the day, because I've had trainings that after like 1 or 2 weeks, you see people start dropping out, possibly because what they've been told about data analysis wasn't what they are currently seeing. Yes, anything that has to do with data analytics, anything that has to do with software engineering, it's not actually easy, but I think it has to do with passion. It has to do with consistency. It has to do with what you want to do and what you think is actually good for you. So yeah, so that's why we actually factor it out. Okay, fine, we need the youth. So, and it's also going to be an opportunity to reduce the level of crime, to reduce the level of people who actually go into fraud after university or after secondary school. So these are actually one of the reasons why, or are the reasons why we factored out the training to be specifically for youth.
Thank you very much. So, guys, you can see that it's not just that He wants to empower young people to learn how to use data to solve problems. The program as well have long time benefits. First, it's going to solve unemployment, and you can look at unemployment rate in Nigeria, especially among young people, is alarming. So let's say that 50 people or 100 people participate in this training. At the end of the duration, they are mentored um, to go into work stream to provide services that is in high demand. That's 100 people of the job market, and that's 100 people of the crime markets, and that's also 100 people, less 100 people doing crime, doing yahoo yahoo. And let's come to fact. Let's be factual about it. Young people have the tool. We all work with technology. They have the tool, they have the energy, and their mind is always running faster than we think in terms of how we design policies to make young people. So why can't we just create programs that will utilize those skills that they already have to solve problems? So Dennis, I'm going to dive into how the training proper. How do you intend to deliver this training? Like, what would be the expectation for people who want to sign up? What
Okay.
will be the
Um,
soft the learnings that they will get?
okay. I think what they will learn it's actually it's tailored toward data analytics. So there are two things. So a lot of persons have met me and they said, "Do we have Excel?" And I said, "Oh, Excel. Yes, people use Excel, but we personally I wasn't trained to use Excel to do data analytics. And why? Because I've worked with an organization where they handle a whole lot of data. So you'll be talking about data that has to do with 1 million, 1 or 21 million rows and columns. So if you have such kind of data, you can't actually use Excel effectively. So that's why I factored in and I said, no, we want a situation whereby after the training, you will actually be proficient in analyzing or exploring huge data sets. And that was why we actually excluded Excel from being part of the training. So we are actually going to be doing Python, which is Python is one of the most recognized programming language for data analytics. So they'll be doing Python. So after Python, Python has other libraries which they can also use for data analysis. Like we talk about pandas, we talk about NumPy. So these are things they will use for data analysis. Then people actually appreciate your data or presenting your data when they can visualize it. If you look at doing COVID-19, we're actually more keen about the data and not the numbers per se. We are keen about the visuals. We are keen about the diagrams. We are keen about you see those diagrams, those pie chart, and the rest of them. So these are things people recognize with, even our brain recognize with them more. So we'll be doing visualization, and the visualization we'll be doing is using Power BI. The Power BI is also a tool which you use to do your visuals, to do your presentation, and to do your dashboard. So they'll be doing Power BIs, and after Power BI, then they'll be doing SQL. So SQL is basically for database. Because why we bring in SQL? Because you can actually generate or get your data from so many sources, from HTML, from SQL, from a whole lot of sources. So since SQL is one of the sources of where data analysis get their data, so it's okay, fine, let's bring in data, SQL. So with SQL, you have the advantage of learning how to design your database. You get the advantage of how to query your database. You have advantage of how to work with database. So basically, Python, Power BI, and SQL. So these are the things they are going to learn. And then after the training, that will take a period of 3 months, then they will have to do another 3 months internship. and just for them to actually have an experience working with real life data, because it's not about just working, trying to learn the skill, but of course we want them to also have a real life experience where they work with real life data and also provide solutions to organizations.
Thank you. So I would just ask one final question before we talk about the internship in details, because I know a lot of people want to know about the internship, and that lies on me. So my question is, does this training cost something, or is it free of charge? And how will you deliver it? Is it in person? Is it online? And if it's in person, where do you meet? If it's online, what do the participants need? So that, I know a lot of people are joining in to um, gather enough information to know whether they would be able to see through this process. And then what would be the markers for participation? Like you said, 3 months, and 3 months is a long time to learn something. What would make someone qualified to graduate at the end of the training session?
Okay, thank you very much for that. Initially, we wanted to do this training for free, and if you know, you know me, so I've actually been doing a whole lot of training for free for people. And one of the experience I do have, um, as um, as someone who have been training for over 2 years now, is one, the seriousness. So people actually value what they pay for, and that's it. So people value what they are paying for directly with their own money. So we said, okay, fine. Because of that, we do not want a situation whereby we can, okay, fine, because I know how much I spent trying to trying to get this knowledge, or trying to get myself trained, or whatever skills I've gained in the past. So, but I do not want it to be that way, and that's why I said, okay, fine, let's make it very, very cheap for people who might actually want to be part of the training. And we said, okay, let's make it for. Initially, we said, okay, I think it's basically we do 100,000 naira for the training for each participant. Then, because we have other things coming up, and because this is going to be a pilot project for us, and because we want to set a name for ourselves, so that at the end of the day, you can actually beat your hands on your chest and say, "Oh, I was actually trained by this organization, and these were the things I eventually learned at the end of the training." So we say, "Okay, let's cut it down to 20,000." So the training is costing just 20,000 naira for 3 months, and it's a virtual training. So what I mean by virtual training is going to be training on Zoom. So which means it's a weekend training, Saturday and Sunday. So this means if you're working, if you're employed, so you have an opportunity to set 2 to 3 hours every Saturday and Sunday to be part of the training. So the training is goes for 20,000 naira for each participant, and yeah, for each participant 20,000 naira. Then after that, then that's all what they need to do. But of course, if you check on our Facebook page, you see the form on how to register. So once you register for the training, you don't need to pay immediately, but of course, before the training starts, you can actually make payments.
When will the training start? When will the training start?
Oh, the training is going to be starting on Saturday, this Saturday. So on
This
the 10th of, yes, on the 10th of September, this Saturday. So on Saturday we'll be doing an onboarding, and onboarding is going to take for just 30 minutes. So the whole essence of the onboarding is to make our participants or our trainee get to understand how the training is going to go. So because we want it for serious-minded people, so we don't want people that will come today and they will not come tomorrow. People that will skip, So there should be, even if you're going to miss classes, there should be a reason for you to miss class. So, and the training is going to be recorded. So which means even if you miss class, you have an opportunity to watch what we did the previous class. So the training is starting on Saturday on the 10th of September.
Thank you very much. So let's move to the internship. So guys, you've heard the training is just 20,000, and I know that it's not just about the cost. It's also about the value that you place on things, and I agree with you. Sometimes when you call people to participate free of charge, it's like employment. When someone is volunteering for your organization, they might choose not to show up any day. But if they're being paid, they know they are being paid. So the value they place on, you know, the time that they put in to earn something will make them show up. The same way, if I dash you something, you might not value it, but if you buy it, if someone wants to touch, you'll be like, I buy that thing costly. So I agree with you, and I think that 20,000 is really, really affordable for someone who wants to, especially for undergrads. And this is something that we don't even consider. Um, for undergrads who are in school, the usefulness of learning this data analytics analysis and having data analytics skill goes far beyond what we can imagine. One, you get to work even without graduating yet, especially now that everyone is sitting at home. Government is confused, ASU is confused, everyone is confused about education. This is the time you get your hands dirty, learn data analysis, get into the workspace. And I know a lot of companies, like say, they have shortage of experts, so you can start from there and be earning money before you even graduate. And I know a lot of international organization who hire Nigerians who are working virtually, managing data for them, analyzing data for them. I know two people that you know come to me for one help or the other, just to make sure they get paid, because they work from Nigeria for a foreign organization. So the opportunities are unending, and I believe that 20K is chicken and change for that. So let's go into the internship, and this is where SieDi-Hub is coming in. And why did you choose to work with SieDi-Hub for this training?
Okay, thank you very much. And um, like I said, I've always loved giving back to society and I've loved giving back to community. So, and when I looked at it, I said, okay, I think, and also this is a pilot project. And I've actually been looking out for organizations where that can actually give us that opportunity and that ample time to work with them. I've reached out to a couple of organizations, which even after this training, after this first badge, so our next badge is going to be possibly two or three organizations that are going to be coming on board. Agriculture, we have an agriculture, a farm, yes, that will also be needing a data analyst um, job. So of course, so it's also something that's actually in the pipeline. So why City Hub? I think because of what SieDi-Hub does, I think it's something they will be needing. Of course, there is no organization that does not work with data, and I keep saying it on a daily basis. We produce data on a daily basis. If you work in MTN, you know how much data they actually produce per second. So we feel it's an opportunity to drive social change. Because if you're able to now what is data? Data has to do with you're trying to using tools to predict. Yes, if you're predicting, it has to do with data science, because data science is different from data analysis, because data science is the elder brother. That's what I keep saying, is the elder brother of data analytics. So, but of course, data analytics has to do with, so you're working with data and you're providing solutions. So you're providing solutions from the data set you already have. And when I look at SieDi-Hub, I feel because SieDi-Hub is a growing organization, I feel it's something we can also channel, partner with and see how we can also help them grow. And also, even aside helping SieDi-Hub grow, we also want to affect the society. And if you work, even when I spoke with you, I try to get one or two things your organization is doing, and you are able to actually tell me a whole lot of things what your organization is doing. I say, oh, fine, good. So we can actually do a whole lot of things. Now, what you said the last time we spoke, you said you're currently working on a project that has to do with collecting of data. And I say, fine. So this is actually where we come in, and so there's no problem. So that was why I think the reason why I think we should actually work together. And again, like I said, it's a pilot project. So maybe after we work together, after this first batch, maybe subsequent batch will have other organizations that will come in. But we want to actually be able to show people that, oh, this is what we did. And I've worked with you not once, not twice, and I know that whoever that has worked with you will know that you are somebody who can actually deliver. And I do not just want an organization that will just, oh, oh, what are those guys doing? No, that's not what I want. I want somebody that, oh, they will be checking what these guys are doing. They will always, so we want people that will actually bring in the result, and that's why I came to SieDi-Hub, and I strongly believe we will actually drive that dream and that vision.
Thanks for that confidence. Ah, this is like an open feedback. Okay, so guys, thank you for joining in. Like I said, if you have questions about the training, what do you intend to get out of the training, how you can participate, drop a message, drop a comment, and ask your question, and Dennis is here to answer you. So we move to talk a little bit about how CD Hub will be working with Demand Tech to drive social change. So, like most of you know, we recently launched um, our organization. Is called Innovation Hub for Inclusiveness, Empowerment, and Social Development. And our focus is on youth and women and children. And we've been trying to come up with different ways to look at the use of data to solve problems, but most importantly, policy problem at the state level. That's subnational level. So we want to work with state governments, state ministries of health, state agencies, local partners on ground, and everyone at the state level to look at how we can improve service delivery for our target audience. So we have a couple of projects that is rolling out. Number one is a pure research that we want to do. We try to understand um, population health in terms of how one thing affects the other. For instance, how eating or nutrition, like we would call it, you know, is impacting things like gestational diabetes or hypertension or other lifestyle illnesses that is going that is increasing now that human beings of Nigeria have started living longer than estimated, some time ago. So this is a research that we'll be going into, and we will be collecting and analyzing state data both from surveys and from facility based. And for those of you who are participating in this training, that is one opportunity that you can really get your hands dirty with data. And we would provide that opportunity for you to work with us, whether to even go as far as collecting the data, just so you know the broad spectrum of you know data collection and data analysis. So we are not just, impacting the skills. For you to analyze data, you can also know how to collect the data that you're analyzing. Then we have other projects that are rolling, and on in terms of gender-based violence in places like Abia State, we want to look at gender-based issues impacting women and their adolescent young girls and children. So with that, we'll be starting very soon, and this is the best time for you to look at how to use data analysis to solve gender issues. It's not every time, oh, someone raped somebody. A man raped 16-year-old boy. My husband raped my housemate. My husband molests my child. My wife beats me at home. someone beats my wife, or someone is molesting my sister in the office, whatever it is in the category of gender-based violence, we want to look into that issue in Abia State. And I believe that is you getting your hands dirty on data. So these are two projects that City Hub is deep, have we've stuck our neck into for the next 1 year, and we are happy to bring you on board our team to work with our team. We have vast team from both local and international looking into this issue. So it's opportunity for you to also work with international experts, professors, and all whatnot, and also the ministries that we will be collaborating with to fulfill this project. So, yeah, those are the two project that I discussed with Dennis when he approached us for collaboration. And then there is also open room for you to explore. You might be coming into this learning as someone who have problem that you want to solve in the society, but you need a mentor, someone to mentor you on how to use this data to design um, your own intervention. We are also open to that because we have a network of mentors who we connect with our young people, that we work with to mentor them in career growth. So it's not just about you getting your hands dirty on City Hub data. It gives you the opportunity to have, you know, mentors who would work one on one with you to, further sharpen your skills within the 3 months that you'll be with us. And we promise you is a journey. So, Dennis, thank you very much for bringing us on board here. And I think we've covered a lot of the questions that we prepared to have this conversation or this hangout. And I would say that for those of you participating, I will be in those training. So then, like Dennis had said, the reason why he approached me is I'm someone who delivers, and for me, delivery is from inception. So I will be with you in the training. If you have questions to ask, or if you are already thinking about how you would design your own approach and you need to be looking at your data versus the problem you want to solve, that is where you would have me be joining the training, be participating, and also I'll be evaluating participation because I don't want someone who just came 1 or 2 times and you want to work with us. No, the work we are doing is too important to have lazy people in our team. My team will tell you that we are fast thinking, fast paced organization because we are young people, whether at heart or in reality. So yeah, thank you very much. And we have just someone here. His name is Blessing Bass. He says, thanks for the forum. My question is, how long does it take a novice to become an experienced data analysis? So, Dennis, this question is, you are the best person to answer it.
Yes, thank you very much for that blessing. Um, I've been I've been in the space for 3 years plus, and I can tell you it's not about the number of time you spend in trying to learn this skill. What I keep saying and what I keep telling people is consistency. So I've trained some persons who after the training they just left, and they never touched their system again. They never touched anything that had to do with data. So of course you don't expect those kind of person to become or to be called a data analyst. No. So I can't say, oh, it takes like 3 months or it takes like 1 year, or I can't say that. But what I'm saying is it has to do with consistency. So after you're trained for 3 months, don't just say, "Oh, I've been trained as a data analyst." No, once you have the opportunity to work to be an intern um, based on our plans, that also gives you an opportunity to be consistent in your learning. So I cannot guarantee you say, oh, in 3 months time you will be a professional when it comes to data analytics. No, it has to be consistent. So there is no you can become a data analyst in 2 months, depending on how well you're able to grab the techniques and everything. But of course, it has to do with consistency. So everything, even if it's 1 year, it has to be consistent. So your capacity of learning or your capacity of even learning is different from every other person's way of learning. So that's why I cannot guarantee you or say, oh, or comfortably say, oh, it takes 3 months, or it takes 6 months, or it takes 1 year. No. So, but of course, your consistency is actually what guarantees you in becoming that professional in terms of becoming a well-grounded data analyst or data analyst rather in the society. Yeah.
Consistency is key, even in growth. I don't know who is there anyone who has stopped growing. Wake up every day and continue growing. So you have to be consistent in learning. At least this is like the right foot on the door, and then you get your hands, working on data to see how this turn out, and then you begin to find ways where you have to improve on the gaps. You even begin to find more need for you to get further training when you have done, when you get past the first stage of learning data analysis. And is a skill that will never go away, and is, a part of the industry that is on high demand right now. I can tell you that for free, that I have not seen a struggling data analyst yet. So, and I believe this is where we will wrap up the conversation. Thank you so much, Dennis, for joining us. Thank you to all our
Thank you for having me.
viewers, whether you're viewing on YouTube, whether you're viewing on Demandy's Facebook page, or you're viewing from SieDi-Hub Facebook page. We appreciate you. And if you have further questions, for most of us that are latecomers, or our internet did not allow us to join, this video is recorded. Um, so it will be posted on those platforms. You can go back, you can watch it. You can also drop your questions, and Dennis will see them and answer them for you, or contact you if there is need to contact you personally to answer some of those questions for you. Without much to discuss, see you next time. Oh no, see you all on Saturday in the onboarding process. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dennis, and have a
Thank you very
lovely
much.
afternoon.
You too. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.